am currently waiting on Scott to join me. He's scooching on in.
Here we go.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Lights, camera action.
Lights, camera action. The party can begin because he's here. Because you have arrived. Right?
It seems like I'm looking at delay and I see my chair scooching in.
You're looking at the past.
I am looking at the past, and we always do.
Yes, we always do.
We always do.
And
you see me, I see you right here.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of space between us.
Yeah.
We see each other in the past. Okay?
I know. I told my friend
the
that.
briefest fraction of a second ago, but it's not in real time.
It's not in real time. No, I was telling that to a friend recently, and she's in her early 20s, and she was just like,
mind blown, right?
like, we're always looking at the past.
And that's what learning about astronomy does for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking just yesterday for the Artemis event, and I was talking to David Eicher and Michael Bakich, and we were talking about the reason why astronomers and music kind of go together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the reason is that some of the concepts, like this look back time concept,
Mm-hmm.
okay, further away something is, the further back into time you're seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just one of them, okay?
Yeah.
So a star explodes and a galaxy is 30 million light years away. Well, it exploded 30 million years ago, and you're just now seeing
Not
it,
seeing
okay,
it.
right? But this also works for near space, too. I mean, any distance, you're seeing it in the past slightly. So there's a slight distortion to almost everything you're seeing and experiencing, because you don't get it in real time.
Yep.
Briefest fraction of a second ago, but not real time.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just really neat to think about. I mean, you don't actually stop and think about it because we're so, everybody. In fact, I'm actually studying being in the moment right now. Just stopping and being in the moment, and so we're more about that instead of actually realizing that yes, we are.
Well, I think there's something called flow that you can experience.
Yeah.
But the music part of it at Starmus, I think, puts people in that state of flow.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You're listening to a rhythm or a tune or something like that, and you are getting, you start to get into that feeling of the moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you hear a great song or something, and no sooner you start listening to it, it's over, and it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, that really is the technical term for it, flow. I mean, just like that, you're driving down the road, listen to a song, and next thing you know, you're a mile or two down the road, and you're like, how did I get here?
Right.
How did I get here?
Maybe that's the reason they put radios in cars or something to make the trip somehow seem shorter to you or more enjoyable.
But I think you could do the same thing. I'm sure astronomers do the same thing when they go out and they look in a telescope and they're looking at the stars and gazing and things like that. They probably get in that flow moment, and next thing you know, it's 4 hours later, and they're like,
it's a meditative state, especially if you're relaxing while you're looking in the eyepiece. You start to remember some of the concepts and teachings about, what it is that you're doing. You're looking back into time. You're actually having a kind of a contact, because the photons created in stars that are coming to your eye, it's not a reflection.
No.
It's the original photons made in that star or that galaxy.
Yeah.
And so it's not a copy. There's this kind of a contact kind of thing. And so it's part of understanding how you're hardwired to the whole universe. So.
Yeah. Let's see who's on here with us.
Okay.
Check that out. Let's see.
Right.
It looks like we've got, if I can make this thing scroll. He always has it weird.
There we go.
Anything to it.
I know, I'm teasing you. Mike Wiesner's on here. Yep. Hey, Mike. And I don't know how to say that.
Wajdi Gazara.
Hello.
American people.
Yes. And Beatrice is on here. Harold is on here.
I think on this show, we're all just like humans here on this pale blue dot that we call Earth. So that's it, so that's the other concept, if you've never read Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan, I think it's something you should do. I used to make myself, in fact, for about 2 or 3 months solid, I made myself read it every morning when I woke up, because it really does help you reframe you're conditioned here.
Oh.
We are on this planet. We are, against a background of this vastness of space, hurtling through space at unbelievable speeds.
Yeah.
And we're somehow all connected to it. So
yeah, it's pretty amazing. Hey, Sentinel, how are you today? He's saying hi to us. So today, as our topic of our show is going to be about 10 crazy facts about space. But before we do that,
crazy.
I was telling Kent about some of them, and he goes,
that's crazy.
He said it doesn't sound real. He goes, you better cite your website. And so I actually have a website. Okay. I really have a website that I have that I found this article this morning. Anyways, I don't have it up.
Oh, never mind.
We are in the process of giving our store a facelift. We're almost done with it. And so we have a new Instagram page for the Explore store, and we have a new Facebook page for the Explore store.
That's true.
So I've started posting some social media on there. So one of the things I wanted to start doing that I started this morning was posting fun facts on there about space. Okay. And that's where I found this article, because I was like,
give me your first crazy.
Okay, so I have to get it up because I can't tell you off the top of my head. Okay. Right. Now, let's see here. Do you know whether or not space is silent or has noise? I'm going to quizzing.
Well, I know that there has been music made from the sound or the waves from quasars and pulsars and galaxies. So I would go with that. Audible sounds could be created from celestial objects. That's how I would say that.
Well, according to the Arizona State University, Arizona State University, space is silent.
Well, no one can hear you scream in space. That's true. You rip off the space helmet and scream. No one's going to hear that, right? Because there's no air to carry the sound waves.
That's right. Because there's no atmosphere in space, which means that sound has no medium or way to travel to be heard.
Right. That's true.
So it's like when you wake up, when you're having that terrible dream and you're waking up, you're screaming, but no noise is coming out. That's what it would be like.
But you're like,
it's like
nothing.
Nothing's happening. Nothing happened. Okay. Right. Do you know? You probably know this, but do you know which planet is the hottest in our solar system?
Should have told me. I could have got the Jeopardy.
It's either Mercury or Venus.
Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system and has an average surface temperature of around 450 degrees Celsius.
So I wonder what the surface temperature is like of Mercury, since it's the closest.
I'm about to tell you that, because Mercury is not the hottest planet, which is really strange. So you would think that Mercury would be the hottest, but Mercury has no atmosphere, which regulates temperature, resulting in big fluctuations. So they don't know the temperature of it, but it doesn't.
So what if you put your hand like on a metal plate that's sitting on the ground during the daytime? I bet it's pretty hot.
I don't know, but it's not as hot.
But you could fry an egg like that.
Let's try it. I remember back in the day those commercials like that. Do you remember that commercial? Now you got me on a rabbit trail. Do you remember the commercial where they go, "This is your brain on drugs"? Yes.
Yeah, grilling. Yeah.
And then for a while there, the hottest temperatures, whether people would go out and put eggs out on the ground to see.
Yeah, I have heard of that. I actually never saw it done. But
maybe we should have tried it.
The American idiom: it's hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk, right?
Why would you want to do that? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're desperate, don't have a frying pan. Okay. Do you know the cost of a spacesuit?
I do not know the actual cost, but I think it's millions.
Okay, so the cost of a spacesuit is $12 million. That's 70% of that cost is for the backpack and the control module. However,
no, is this like a moon?
No, it's the actual NASA spacesuit. However, the spacesuit that NASA uses were built in 1974. So that's the cost of them in 1974.
It cost $12 million in 1974.
Yes. So if these were priced by today's prices, they would cost an estimate of $150 million.
Yikes! Wow. Okay, so I'm probably not getting one.
Hey, anybody out there?
Unless
figure out,
NASA wants to call me and say, Scott, don't worry about it. We're going to give you a free ride. Okay.
Or if there's somebody out there generous enough to give you that for Christmas or your birthday. There you go.
Okay.
Gift ideas for Scott.
Gift ideas. That's right.
Okay. Do you know?
I had a G.I. Joe, though. It didn't have a spacesuit, I think.
How much do you think that spacesuit cost?
Pennies on the dollar. I don't know.
Hey, but if you had it
I know the markup of toys, so.
But if you had it today, it probably would be cost a lot. It probably would be a lot. Let's see who's, I'm just seeing. Jim Norwood says, I've cooked eggs on the dash of a closed up vehicle in direct sunlight. Takes a while, but they'll cook.
I wonder what that smelled like, Jim. Okay. All right. Now, somebody made a comment about the music that they listen to. And Mike Wiesner says he listens to classical science fiction themes and spatial music when I'm in my observatory. Love listening to the Hearts of Space albums.
That's really neat that you pick that you have those that you do while you're observing. That's interesting.
Yeah. I like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, especially if I'm looking at the moon.
You like Pink Floyd?
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't like Pink Floyd?
I don't listen to them.
You don't? You're anti-Pink Floyd?
I'm anti-music. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not anti-music.
Well, it's just not your generation. You know, I'm a lot older than you are.
Pink Floyd's everybody's generation. What are you talking about?
They're that good that they're timeless, and you don't like
yes,
them.
I mean, you can go out and buy a Pink Floyd T-shirt right now.
You can, and the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album happens to be still one of the best-selling albums out there. So there you go.
Yep, they're pretty famous. Okay, do you know that the sun's mass takes up 99.86% of the solar system?
There's not much left over for us planets, huh? And so how much room do we take up in the solar system? You know? So.
Well, we're about to tell you.
You know, I've been wanting to live in a tiny house. And so, you know, even if you own a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot home, you know, and think that that's a lot of room, it's really not.
Well, technically you are, if you're thinking about Earth in comparison to the sun, you are living in a tiny home because 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun. 1 million.
Yeah, you're already a tiny homeowner, even if you own a 100,000 square foot Goliath of a house. So
even if it takes up the biggest mountain in the world, you're still in a tiny home.
Still a tiny home. That's right.
It says the sun is large enough that approximately 1.3 million Earths could fit inside if squashed in, or if the Earths retained their spherical shape, then 960,000 would fit. But can you visualize that number of Earths?
See, that's the hard part, is visualizing this. And so that was, and all these concepts of, you know, the vastness of space, the sizes of things, you know, all of this is pretty hard to wrap your head around. And when I first started in amateur astronomy, these things were really overwhelming to me. Like I would just be like numb, over trying to imagine, you know, these things. And I'm going to make an argument here. I think that the act, you know, of being involved in astronomy, maybe this flow experience that you can have while looking through the eyepiece, this meditative state of, you know, trying to use averted vision and seeing a galaxy, and you're looking deeper and deeper into space. And if you happen to hear the right kind of music for you, which might be different,
that's why there's so much music.
Buck Owens, and one of them might be Yoko Ono, and then the other one might be, you know, Debussy's Clair de Lune. Okay. Whatever floats your boat on this, I think that it helps you get into that state of flow.
Yeah.
And I think that opens your mind up a bit so that you can start to somehow grasp these.
Well, and these things, I mean, and getting into that helps you actually relieve stress. Like it actually it centers you. It just calms your body. Like there's so many great physical elements to that it can do a lot for you.
Right. And Jim says, do not listen to Slim Whitman.
I don't know who that is.
I think that was the yodeler. I don't know, Jim. Was that the yodeler that was on Mars Attacks? You know,
Mars Attacks.
Yeah, that was a funny movie.
Okay,
All right.
Did you know that there are more trees on the Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way?
Is that true?
According to our Arizona State University, they say there are about 3 trillion trees, on planet Earth, and between 1 to 400 billion stars approximately in the Milky Way galaxy.
Now, I've heard revised estimates, and we get these things revised all the time, that they think there might be over 1 trillion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. So,
but it's something to think about.
It is something to think about. That's true.
But it kind of puts it into perspective, because when I saw this morning, I was like, okay, wait. Because I only think about the trees. I mean, the whole world is filled with trees, but I only think about the trees here because we're in a wooded area. We're not in a desert.
Big time.
And so I only think about the trees everywhere. Here. And I'm like, wait, can that really be possible? Because to me, we have a lot of trees, but we don't have a lot of trees, I guess, because I'm used to seeing them all the time.
Well, we could always use more, right?
Always use more.
Yeah. Go plant trees, guys. So
plant stars.
And that too.
So, okay. So, did you know that the sunset on Mars appears blue?
Yes.
How did you know that?
How did I know? Because I've seen it.
You've seen the sunset on Mars?
Yeah, you haven't seen the sunset?
No, I haven't seen the sunset on
Mars.
You
got to go see some sunset photos from Mars.
Oh, I thought you meant you physically went to Mars.
No, this.
I
have asthma. Okay, I have asthma. I have a tough time breathing here. I am not going to be able to breathe on Mars. Okay.
120 million.
And I'm allergic to dust. So Mars dust, and the fact that there's really not much air, and it's in a vacuum. It's all tough.
Lubo in China says, we people will make sure that the star number will prevail over the trees. Love it, Lubo. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. There's not even enough people in China really to match all that. So it's true.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you how that is possible. It says, just as colors are made more dramatic in sunsets on Earth, sunsets on Mars, according to NASA, would appear bluish to human observers watching from the red planet. Fine dust makes the blue near the sun's part of the sky much more visible, while normal daylight makes the red planet's familiar rusty dust color the most perceptible to the human eyes.
There you go.
So it's the way the light shines through it.
Yeah, you got to see some of these sunset
I'm going to have
photos.
to go. I am going to have to go.
There's also an eclipse photo of the moon of Phobos in front of the sun, which is cool. So they got an eclipse photo. There's a lot of cool stuff about Mars. You could probably do a whole show on the crazy facts of Mars.
Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should do the crazy facts of Mars. That would be fun.
It's true. Because we could go way back. There's been a lot of crazy stuff about Mars.
Okay.
Mostly about how humans think about Mars.
So number 8, there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth.
One more time.
There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on the Earth.
Sure.
It's kind of weird to think about because we just said that there's more trees on Earth compared to the stars in the Milky Way.
They were talking about more galaxies, right?
Yeah.
Galaxies. Okay, so they really don't know how many galaxies there are, and they also don't know how many universes there are.
Yeah.
We can say that, there's one universe, but they're getting into this multiverse thing.
Yes.
Okay. So another mind blown. Okay. So
maybe Spider-Man was always real.
Maybe.
Because they always
I don't know.
all those Marvel shows are like getting in the multiverse.
There's some cosmologists that think that, since you're part of the universe, that your wildest imagination, just make it up, okay, in your mind. All right. Because you're making it up and you're part of the universe, okay? It's part of the universe too. So there you go.
Maybe we don't want to put my made up things out there. Harold, I think it's great that you think I get class credit for this research. It actually was fun reading.
Everybody
this
gets
morning.
an A today. All right. So,
but Lubo says, but there is more atoms in the grain of the sand than there is stars in the universe. What?
Lubo, don't blow our minds here. Okay. We're having a tough time holding on right now. Okay. So.
I'm blowing Scott's mind right now.
Yeah.
Blowing your mind. Okay, so that was number 8.
My mind gets blown almost regularly every day.
How long do you think one day on Venus is?
1.5 years.
One day.
One day on Venus. How long do you think it is?
I've known this number before. I don't think it's 24 hours, though.
No, it isn't 24 hours.
Right? It's a long time, isn't it?
It is. 1 day on Venus is longer than 1 year. Venus has a slow axis rotation.
I was right.
Paul
was right.
Paul was right.
Paul's like looking at the internet over there.
Venus has a slow axis rotation which takes 243 Earth days to complete its day. The orbit of Venus around the sun is 225 Earth days, making a year on Venus 18 days less than a day on Venus. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Harold Locke, he's writing that Heinlein, who is a science fiction author, wrote that every novel creates a new universe.
That is a very good point. Because it's giving your imagination. I mean, somebody's writing down what their thoughts and their whatever, and that's crazy. I never even thought about it. That's a good point.
That because we're somehow self-contained, and that the universe is out there and we're in here, right? Somewhere in here. I don't know exactly where we are in here, but wherever it is, that's us, right? And the universe is out there. But the universe means everything.
The question I've got,
right? Universe.
The question, Scott.
Yes.
The question I have is when you begin a novel and you don't finish it, does that new world now implode and is dead?
If you think so.
Or are they...
If you imagine it to be.
Are they in suspended animation?
If you want it to be.
It's whatever your mind and heart desires.
If you don't finish it,
right.
If you don't finish it,
really?
I don't know.
You just stop and quit doing anything with it. Do they just go on their own lives?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know because you stopped reading. I mean, you stopped reading the book.
You stopped writing it.
Oh, you're talking about writing it.
Yeah.
I wonder how many novels. No, I'm not even going to talk about that. I was going to say.
We're going down a rabbit hole, folks.
Okay.
Although we've been in one the entire time, so.
No, this has been fun. This has been
universe rabbit hole.
Lubo says you can ask the same question about Mercury 2 to 3 resonance. So are you saying?
Oh, he's talking about the length of day.
Oh, the sun at one point on Mercury rises, then goes backwards, sets where it came from, and then it rises again.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Jim Norwood makes a good point.
What does he say? Does each novel make a new universe, or does each read of each novel make one?
Both.
I think a new universe is made for every single person that reads it.
So maybe multiverses.
It's multiverses because if you're reading it and just like you said, you're whatever your mind, you said you can make it your universe.
Yeah. So people will go, oh, Scott, you're being crazy here. Just because I think and imagine it, that can't be real. That's outside of the universe. Okay, universe means everything. It means everything. Okay, so it's not a collection of stars and galaxies and nebula and comets and all the rest of it, but there's something separate, not touching or part of the universe. Well, then that can't exist, right?
It's almost like we have a mentality that we are not part of the universe. We're only actually peering into the universe.
Yeah, we're just like an observer, somehow separate.
But we're actually part of the universe.
Yeah. From our atoms to, all that.
The master of the universe.
Lubo says the sun at one point on Mercury rises. Oh, I already said that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
And Harold Locke is laughing.
Harold, it's amazing.
Harold knows it's true.
It's amazing. See, and that's one of the things I was hoping to do is to find out more fun facts. Like Lubo's telling us some things. It's like, really, is that really true? I mean, that's That's insane. Okay, so my last one is there is a planet made of diamonds.
Ooh.
There is a planet made of diamonds twice the size of Earth, the super Earth, aka 55 Cancri. I don't know how to say that.
Cancri?
Is most likely covered in graphite and diamonds. Paying a visit to that planet would probably pay for the $12 million
Trip?
spacesuit needed to get there.
That's right, to scoop up all those diamonds.
So if you want to be rich, go to that planet and then come back.
Yeah, if you want to be the richest person in the universe.
But you have to buy that $150 million spacesuit first.
Yeah, and get into a rocket.
So are they just using the same spacesuits they've always used? Or have they made new ones?
It would be interesting to know, but I think that they do take them back to Earth. They have them professionally cleaned, right? Right.
I wonder what kind of cleaner they use on them. This is like,
So there's a documentary that's out. I have one of those Oculus, where you get like this 3D VR immersion things.
Oh, yeah.
And one of these experiences, and this is the reason why I bought the Oculus, you go into the International Space Station. And it's cool. I mean, you have this feeling, the motion and stuff. So, but they were talking in detail during one of the episodes. They were talking in detail about the suits and how they kind of smell a little bit because they don't wash them after every use, so you're hopping into a suit that's been kind of sweated in, before, but you're in space. You don't care, right? You don't care about the smell.
Do you sweat in space?
Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe not in the vacuum of space. I don't know. Well, you probably do, but it probably instantly dries. So it's a real dry experience.
It's a dry sweat. But doesn't that defeat the point of sweat? That's actually hilarious.
It does. It defeats.
There's so many things. There's so many things that only astronauts. Astronauts have experienced that we don't know and have never experienced. But one day,
they come back and they tell us.
I know, but it's
they say like space smells like maybe like burnt electronics or something. When I talked to Harrison Schmitt about going to the moon, the dust, when they went back into the lunar module and they took off their helmets and stuff, they said it tastes like gunpowder. It's like, okay, I haven't really tasted gunpowder.
I know.
Before.
Like, how
but
do you
guys, if you want to know what the moon tastes like, just take a little gunpowder taste, just touch your tongue with it, and that's what the moon tastes like.
Don't do that.
Scott is telling everybody to lick.
Break open a bullet, okay? Maybe with a hammer.
Scott's telling everybody to lick a bullet.
Don't make any sparks, right?
I'm curious. So now they launched a rocket to the moon. So what is that exactly as a mission? Because I missed that.
I'm curious. So now they launched a rocket to the moon. So that what exactly is the mission? Because I missed that. Now, Tom, back in the 60s and 70s, we went to the moon. Okay.
Yeah.
And Harrison Schmitt was one of the last. In fact, he was on the last mission to the moon, Apollo 17.
Okay.
And he was describing to me, because he was a moonwalker. Okay. He was describing to me what the taste of moon dust is like. We also had a conversation about moon dust itself because he had a mild allergic reaction. Okay. A mild allergic
That's
reaction.
something you wouldn't think about. I mean, you probably can't prepare somebody for that if you don't have the elements from wherever.
Right. And so, and the guy that, there is a guy that actually took the moon suits, took the moon rocks, the moon dust, all this, the lunar, it's not soil, but lunar regolith is what it is. Because soil would have organics in it that could, but anyhow, he had such a bad allergic reaction that he had to stop doing the job.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, all you people out there that like to be moon colonists, you need to go see your allergist first, okay? Because it could be kind of nasty. And I think that the dust on the moon is going to be really one of the biggest problems that we're going to have. It's going to get into everything. It's going to get into, if you're making, daiquiris or something, you're going to have some moon dust chopped
moon
up
daiquiri.
moon daiquiris, right? So, and everything's going to have kind of a,
Hey, Steve from Idaho. It's nice that you're with us. Ton says, yeah, but what is the current rocket's mission now?
The current
For
rocket,
the moon. For the moon.
the Artemis mission. Okay, so that's the one that's going to the moon. So they're planning. In fact, it's supposed to come up any day or any week right now. Artemis 1 is supposed to make a flyby of the moon. It's unmanned. Okay, so they're going to send a rocket up there.
Okay.
They're going to send the last stage of it out there, and the rocket that would be flying around the moon, like on the Apollo mission, it's going to do it unmanned. Okay, so they're just going to go through the whole process of doing that. Then there's going to be Artemis 2, which will actually have people on it, but they're not going to land. Okay, that's the next stage. Then the third stage is Artemis 3, and they plan to put a male and female on the moon for real.
Like living there?
Well, like they're going to make a trip there and walk on the moon, like the Apollo mission did.
Because we haven't walked on the moon in a while, have we?
It's been a long time. Yeah, 50 years. So
50 years?
Yeah, last one.
Wow.
Yeah, this year is the last time that we had people actually on the moon.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder why we waited so long.
Well, we were in something called the space race, and we won the space race. So it was political, right?
100%.
It was political. And so we accomplished that. And once we accomplished our mission, they stopped. Okay. Right?
There was no need.
To the moon
Yeah, there's
again.
no need to strive for that.
We have other reasons now. Okay. There's still a space race. It still is political to a degree, but they now want to see if they can set up camp and stay there for a while. You know?
So Lubo's asking, is NASA going to fly the Titanium Lake?
Fly to the Titanium Lake? We do not know, because I do not know about the Titanium Lake. Will they take footage around the moon? You can bet. Yeah, it's probably going to be in super high resolution.
8K, something like that.
It's crazy.
Our cousins Elon and Jeff will be financing mining operations. Yes, I'm sure they will. Soon you will see the flat earthers and moon landing deniers all over the place. It's true. Yeah, I mean,
there's so many things. And I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder if, how they got the
I think they ought to take all the moon landing deniers, and they should be the first to go to the moon. That's what I think. So.
They're like, no, I'll fall off the side. No,
I'm good.
I'm fall off the edge of the. But I'm just sitting there thinking, I wonder how the way they were able to get the James Webb Telescope into space. I wonder how much more that's going to open up our exploration, because they did that all remotely and so far away.
The moon?
No, the James Webb Telescope.
Oh yeah, it is. That's true.
And it was all done remotely here. So it makes me think, okay, so I wonder how much more that's going to open up exploration to other planets and things like that.
Well, I think it certainly is another major milestone, another step in the right direction. So, but okay, so here's the argument about putting people in space, okay, and going to the moon and going to Mars, is that they say that we need to go and inhabit another planet because for the survival of the human species. What do you think about that? What if we just said no rockets, they don't exist, okay? Do you think that the human species will somehow get wiped out? I mean, we already experienced a pandemic, right? Okay, there could be a major asteroid hit, okay? That could be another one that could take us out. We could annihilate ourselves. We have maybe enough weaponry to do that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you just don't, I mean, I can't say yes or no because I don't know. I mean,
No, it's all opinion.
honestly, it's just like, try to prepare for things. Like when they sent the telescope up, they try to prepare for things, but still a speck of dust was going so fast that it hit it. And you can't prepare for everything. So we don't know. We don't know if there's an asteroid, meteor, or whatever flying at us right now at 1,000,000, 20,000,000, 500,000, bazillion, whatever, going to just take us out. I mean, we don't know that. I mean,
okay, but no. So if that happened, it could wipe out.
It could wipe out.
Wipe us all out. So is it worth spending the trillions of dollars that it's going to cost? Okay, to set up colonies on the moon and then later to Mars.
I don't see why there's a problem with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to go to the moon and set up a colony. I mean,
I guess
think
when you
it's
die,
nice
you
to
can't
have
take your money with you, so you might as well spend it.
Well,
but
even at that, if you think about all the other things that we go and explore, I mean, there's so many, people that cave dive and all these things, like they do all these things in exploration. True. And so why is it such a big deal for us to say, hey, we want to set up a colony on the moon? What is wrong with that?
In my book, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. There's nothing, but there are people that feel, okay, this is the argument. They feel, oh gosh, you're going to spend trillions of dollars going and putting people on the moon or Mars. And we've got hungry people right here on this planet.
We do have hungry people on this planet.
You know what, though? For all the hungry people on this planet, all we have to do is curb how much electricity we use by about that much, okay? Global electricity use. So turn off the lights, use proper lighting systems, turn off those baseball fields, dog parks, whatever, okay, that you got light going on like crazy, and take all that money, just that little incident of money, and go feed the whole planet, because you could.
There's a lot of things you could do. There's a lot of things that you can do, like
and you could go spend the trillions of dollars to go to these other places.
Yes, just like I'm thinking of. I actually don't do this, but driving through Starbucks every day. Like I have a friend that goes to Starbucks 3 times a day. I mean, there's ways
3 times a day.
3 times a day. There are things that you can do to feed people.
That's true. That's true.
Steve Howard says he describes in precise detail how the Earth would look from the moon, essentially providing mathematical proofs of
Copernicus's heliocentric model.
So he I really enjoyed
Harold's comment up on the screen.
Today they announced that JWST will be turned to study the new water world found by tests and discovered by scientists at the University of Montreal.
Of Montreal?
Yeah, Montreal. Sorry, I mispronounced that.
Montreal?
I said Montreal because it's real. Montreal is real.
It's really real. Here we go. I'm trying to get up to
I know you have to go. You have to go down. You have to go down to go up. Wait, it's not. Oh, it's here. It's here. You have to go down to go up. Okay, there. Steve Hauser has an actual way more long post than that.
Let's see.
There it is.
I just learned that Kepler authored what might have been the first science fiction story in 1609. Oh, Kepler, the astronomer Kepler. Titled The Dream, not published until 1634 after his death. They should make a movie about it.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
There it is. That one.
In the story, he described an island 50,000 miles up in the sky. The people that live there think the earth revolves around them. Interesting. The new water world found by tests, that's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah, I'll have to read about that. That's great.
I knew that they had found a water world because when I I think about 6 weeks ago, I watched a TED talk on the James Webb telescope, and they talked, and the gentleman talked about that they had found a water world.
Yeah, they're going to find. So, the thing is, it just seems like whatever we look for, eventually we find it.
And it's interesting because to me, they're like yesterday, I was talking to a coworker about I think it was about, I don't remember if it was Jupiter or what we were talking. We were talking about one of the planets and how everything is clouds, and how nobody's gotten on the planet because it's all dust and clouds. And as soon as he said we've sent stuff there, but then it just burns up and dies. And I said, well, how do you know it burns up and dies?
Oh, like he's talking about Venus.
Yeah, that's what we're talking Venus. I couldn't remember what.
Oh yeah, it's so hot there that the Russians have sent landers there. They work for a little while, but then it's so darn hot. Okay. That, like, I guess lead can melt on its surface.
Oh, wow.
It's that hot.
Well, okay? It's the planet. I could have swore it was Jupiter he was talking about. Because he was talking about because we found because I guess James Webb Telescope just took a picture of it, and it almost looks like everything's moving on the planet. It looks really flowy.
Yeah, so Jupiter is mostly gas of helium and hydrogen.
That's what he was telling me.
With water and ammonia clouds floating in this.
Yeah, that's okay?
So that's going on.
Yeah.
So that, it's, I guess the model, as well as they understand it, it's gas until things start getting to a concentrated state. Then it goes to like liquid.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing on the model.
And then even like liquid metals. Okay. And they say if there is a hard surface to Jupiter, it's probably no larger than Earth.
But it was funny because my joke was we keep sending stuff there and it keeps just like disappearing, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know there's nobody there capturing it? That was my joke.
Well,
but yeah, it was really, reading this was really interesting to me. I just to think about all those crazy facts that we don't stop and actually think about because we're always consumed by ourselves.
Yeah.
And not focusing on things around us. And so anyways, when I started reading that this morning, I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about today. Cause I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that's good. It's refreshing. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Now, Paul is sharing the NASA page here. It says NASA's Webb detects carbon dioxide in exoplanet atmosphere. So this is really one of the things that James Webb Space Telescope was designed to do. And so I think we're going to find a lot more of this kind of thing. So we're just getting started.
It's going to be pretty amazing. Just that telescope's it's going to be amazing.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing things that they're going to find and see. So
it's going to make them build a bigger one and send that one out there too.
It's going to get better and better.
That's right.
It's going to get better and better. And then maybe you can afford $150 million.
Yeah, maybe that's
150 or 120 astronauts.
That's nothing, when no one's using money anymore for anything. You don't even think about $1 million because it's a nothing, right?
It's whatever.
Yeah. Webb captures stellar gymnastics in the Cartwheel Galaxy. Now, this was out a little while ago, but it's really not old news. It is amazing to see how the J-West instrument and its infrared can kind of see through galaxies, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
See through all those dust lanes.
Yeah. I mean, the stars that they can see now and things like it's just been, it's really been neat to see the Hubble, the pictures from Hubble and then the pictures from this and compare them. It's been pretty amazing to see the difference in them. So,
So tonight we have the Global Star Party,
yes.
Our 103rd Global Star Party. I have to go get ready for it. Okay?
Yes, and that's fine.
Yeah, we have kind of an early login for our presenters, but we've got a great lineup. A lot of young astronomers are coming on, including Libby and the Stars, who has not been on for a while. Deepti from Nepal. She's now gone through high school and is starting to apply for university. She wants to come to school here, which would be very cool. Who else? Connell Richards is going to be on.
Very nice.
And we've got who else? Dr. Daniel Barth. You did a show with him.
Yes, I'm really enjoying doing shows with
Daniel
Dr.
Barth.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I always walk away just a little bit more, mind going and thinking about things. So it's really good. He really challenges you. It's good. It's good.
That's true. And so, of course, David Levy will be there. David Eicher will not be there. He and I both, and as well as lots of other people, we're all getting ready to go to Starmus in Armenia. And so a lot of prep going on there.
That's cool.
We are preparing simultaneously to go to Armenia. We've got Global Star Party tonight.
Yes.
We've got
Arizona Dark Sky
Dark Sky Star Party and the Oracle Dark Sky Cultural Festival, which is going to have music and stuff. When I go to Starmus, I'm going to be taking notes because they've got real, high-end rock stars there, the best minds in the world.
He's going to come back with a lot of ideas. Man.
Yeah, I'm going to come back very mind blown many times over. So.
And then we've got the Explore Store Star Party at the end of September.
That's right. That's right.
And that's going to be our grand reopening. We have Instagram page, Facebook page. Go follow it, like us on there. And then we are going to have the Mount Wilson
Observatory
in October.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things coming up. So be watching us, and we'll make sure we get the word out there and get all that information out there to you guys. So, but yeah.
Great. So, anything else? Any other crazy fact you want to throw out there before we leave?
I have no crazy facts. I'm all crazy fact out.
That's right.
Treat a moon telescope like we treat Antarctica. Joint nation missions for scientific purposes.
Moon telescope's better.
Yeah, I like the idea of an observatory on the moon. That would be definitely something I'd want to go visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if I went to the moon, if I got to do the trip, okay, first off, I'd make sure I bring my inhaler, okay, just because,
I think you would need a nebulizer.
Yes, to make nebulas. Okay, so, but I would love to go see the Apollo 11 moon landing site. Okay, that would definitely be a bucket list thing to see that.
Is our flag destroyed up there?
They think so. There's a lot of radiation. There's nothing, protecting this stuff up there. But the spacecraft will be there. It'd be cool to see the first moon buggy that we used up there and maybe turn it on, see if it still runs. I don't know. They probably wouldn't let me do that.
Then you're gonna have to go find the shop on the moon that has like all the stuff to fix it.
Yeah. And then the other landers that are up there that Russia sent up, that we sent up, and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool to see these artifacts. I wonder if we'll have treaties or something that will protect these things. Because people like to go and tag, and scratch their initials and things like that into things. So I wonder if I guess we're spending the money to go to the moon.
What would be really interesting? I'm just going to throw this idea out there. What would be really interesting if you showed up and then you looked and it was tagged, but we had not been back there. So who tagged it?
Like with some sort of alien letters or something?
That's not going to happen until they get that Dollar General bill.
Because where are they going to get this spray cans, right? Okay. Well, I can tell you there's going to be something, I think that probably inside the lunar bases, let's say that they build a lunar base in a lava tube. This is a real idea that they have. Because there's lava tubes on the moon.
But wouldn't you be worried that lava would come out of them?
No.
It's not an active.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Are you sure?
Well, it's dangerous enough just going. I think the long list of dangers that might kill you on the moon, lava is going to be way down that list, probably down there with alligators and piranha as well. So, right. But yeah, I guess lava did actually exist there, and piranha and alligators probably didn't.
Did you see this is random, but did you see the post where it's been so dry, I think in Texas, maybe that one of the rivers dried up and they found footprints of a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you know that? Did you hear that?
I didn't know that, but yeah. I do know that because I'm from Texas, and in Boy Scouts, when I lived there, we went to Tyler, Texas, and nearby Tyler, Texas, they have lakes. They're very shallow, with a little bit of water in them. You can see perfectly down to the bottom, and you can see dinosaur tracks going in.
Yeah, that's because it dried up so much that they found dinosaur tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of dinosaurs in Texas.
That was so cool.
Cowboy hat wearing dinosaurs.
Speaking of Texas, Tyler went to Texas. He's doing a photography class down there.
Oh, yeah.
And we were teasing him.
At Fort Worth Camera, right?
Yep. And we were teasing him because he took his cowboy boots. I don't think I've ever seen him wear cowboy boots.
Do you have cowboy boots?
No.
I have a pair. I'll wear mine sometime here at Explore Scientific, okay? And I have cowboy hats. I'm proud to wear them, okay?
All right. Well, we better hop off.
Okay. Yeah, I got a star party to do.
Star
but thank
party,
you very
yes.
much. Very interesting,
Thank
Annie.
you for coming. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. So
Yep.
tomorrow will be Kent. I don't know if he's going to do focus on astrophotography. I don't know yet. But he will be on for Amazon Live. So we will see you guys later on.
All right. Have fun.
Bye.
Keep looking up. Bye-bye.